Yeah, fully active. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another Perfect Balance Trodclass, a place where conscious-minded and like-minded individuals are guided towards the full development of their potential through collective reasoning. We have with us Okavango, the Rebel Guru, Yaga,
Give thanks.
aka Teacher Ma'at,
Yes, I.
Bingi, and I am yours truly,
Greeted.
Ras Dada. We are the Perfect Balance Trodclass. Wagwan, General.
Yeah, man.
Give thanks, you know.
Yeah, man,
Thanks
that's
for
Always
the
I.
it.
shit.
Art of love, man, art of sabbatical, you see
Yeah,
it?
man, present.
Yeah, man, naturally, Next
Mm.
chat class, next interesting topic. I want to say, brother, um, the reasoning upon Haiti and the Dominican Republic are there, brother. And the
Tamu.
normal reasoning, brother, you see
Yeah,
it?
man, Tamu,
Yeah,
You
man.
see,
yeah,
the
man, so we give thanks
conversations,
to that.
People, them love it,
the
man.
conversation that are in the space and taking over the airwaves
Yep.
are not these type of conversations. So there's a space
No,
Yeah,
for
man, a
this
breath of
kind
fresh
of
air.
conversation, and because it is lacking, and people are
yes,
not
sir.
getting enough of it. Yeah, they can feel it
Mm-hmm.
because they can relate to the conversations.
Yes, sir. I just want to say as well that on our road to 1K, we are now at 300 and almost 40 subscribers. So I think we're doing well, but I believe that we can still do a little better. I think that for a channel that has people over 600 viewers of most of the view of the videos, we should have at least 600 subscribers.
Yeah.
So we want to have a
We
drive.
give a thanks here,
So, same way, we
Man,
give a
thanks to
thanks.
everyone.
We give a
Everyone
thanks,
we click
same way.
subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Everyone we
Yeah.
click a like.
So we
Everyone
are
we leave
say,
a comment. But
right.
with a like, we also subscribe, you know.
Yes, I.
Other than
Yes,
thing, they
I.
want to view it. Yeah,
The
man.
real,
Yeah.
the real mission is a step-by-step process, And the first step was to start it and to accumulate these viewers, these subscribers, where we can start going live. Because once we start going live, then we can generate a community. Because everyone who go live now become a part of the community, and then we can now start to take on projects where we can look towards the benefit and improvement of
You
African
see,
communities
these
globally.
kind of Pan-African work, and Pan-African in the social space is coming under a lot of attack and a lot of pressures, But despite
Mm-hmm.
all of that, we still have to bring the conversation to the forefront because as
Naturally,
African
it's
people, our
necessary.
voice is being suppressed and they don't want us to tell our story. They don't want us to come together as a community. So we have to keep pushing on and keep bringing the message to the people because it can't be one side of the conversation. You have to hear our side. If you don't know your side of the conversation, you have to go and learn about your side of the conversation because you have a
Naturally.
side of the conversation.
So, and that is the angle where we are presented from. That this is our side of the conversation. Yes, sir. Give thanks, man. So remember, like, share, subscribe, and as we go on this journey to 1K, it's I don't think it's a difficult task to get to. Once we get to that, then we can start going live and we can have interaction with our viewership, with our members, and we can start activating and bringing forward projects, similar to like the health fair previously held by Brother Yaga, So today is the next episode in the Black Family series. We did a lovely reasoning the other day on the Black woman. I was very, happy that we were able to do that because that is something that I saw as necessary. And I'm very happy that we chose to do that. Today, however, the next episode is on the Black man, right? Now, the Black man traditionally have a lot of ideologies surrounding him. Some of them misguided, some of them not so warranted, and some of them warranted. So we want to start off the reason, like we did with the Black woman, in talking about the historical energy or vibration surrounding the Black. So I don't know who eager to kick off this one, So, I just I'll leave it up to the item. Who want to kick off the one?
Seeing another interesting topic in our series, and
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
we have to take it way back or on the counter forward so that we can have a good understanding of the role that we played historically, despite the systematic pressures that put some forward and also confine some of us. We have to remember that the black man has always been there for their family and especially the children. So we want to rise above that and let the younger generation and the youth them today know that, listen, you have a role to play, you have a responsibility to play as a dad in building your family, in building your community, and being a role model for the future generations.
Yes, sir.
For sure.
Yeah, man. It's the black man. Well, we live in it, right? We're the black man. So we could talk from experience, right? Our lives, how we go about our lives. And we know that we are disadvantaged, right? In many ways. But historically speaking, who we are. We are leaders. We are priests. We are prophets. We are dignitaries. We are kings. Right? We are fathers. We the black men, but what we have shown through time is this resilience. This resilience, man, that shows our very first nature. We being the first in everything, without apology. Our resilience is because
Despite
we are much
everything.
more connected. Despite everything, we are more connected to this existence. And that's what makes us really great, our pure connection. Because no matter if we are ignorant of certain other things, right? And we live in oppressed conditions, we still survive those oppressions, those degradation, those so-called humiliation. We still here, right? Because we are resilient. We are resilient because we are first. So we know how to deal with it naturally, Not even thinking, it's just natural, right? And not that every man who is alive is not dealing it in that way, but we are dealing with it under a different condition than every other man.
We have to
Our
conditions.
conditions, yes, our conditions are hard. So we, as I see it, we are resilient. We are upful. We try to do the best that we can under the conditions. But more than all, man, we are priests. We are kings, right? And we have to remember that, and we must carry our way, ourselves in our way too, We must carry ourselves
Rise
with
up, black
dignity,
man, rise up.
Yeah, rise up, carry yourself with dignity, especially for I and I. When we look at His Majesty, for example, when you look at his character, right? You see this man who is dignified, right? For I and I. So we must carry ourselves with respect and dignity, but always remember who we are.
Naturally.
Yes,
Naturally. Okabongo.
Yes, Rasta, I give thanks. Yeah, man. Historically, the black man is everything that a man is. The black man is that. You know what I mean? Maybe looking at things now, it seems like maybe hard to believe that a black man is everything, but a black man is everything. A black man is innovator. A black man is king. A black man is everything. And they can name anything that a man can do, everything that a man has done. A black man has done. The black man has done it. You know what I mean? Black man is everything. And I mean, historically.
Yes, sir. We see today a lot of remnants of roles played by the black man from historical in terms of as the provider, as the breadwinner, as the disciplinarian. These are things roles where the black man used to hold in the ancient of times. And I think that their overstanding as well of that balance between the black man and the black woman too was key as well, because we see that in the ancient of time, in the historical settings of the ones them, that them have a very good overstanding of them rules and play them rules well. You see me? Both of them. So when we then look at the black man in the sense of historically, right? It's very difficult to talk about the history of the black man and not speak about slavery. Slavery, which is sometimes that thing I don't even like to talk about as well, because of the fact that it's like almost like whenever we talk about our blackness, is a theme that it come like we can't escape. And I think that sometimes because we can't escape it, we get stuck in it. You get what I say? But the black man chose slavery now.
It's a part of it, Dada. It's a part
Yes,
of it,
sir.
so we have to talk about it.
We have to talk about it.
Sure. So you know, the thing with black man, you see, the black man. I'm gonna tell you when me think about the black and what I think every black man will realize right now in this time. Because the black man, like every other man, should be the protector, should be the provider for the family, for the nation, for the community.
Sorry.
You know what I mean? And in that aspect, the black man has failed. The black man is a failure, and we in a time right now where black people are black man. So say black man, they don't understand say black man in a state of failure right now. We have failed to protect the black woman. We have failed to protect the black child. We have failed to protect the black community. We have failed to protect black race and a whole. We have failed. And until we come to the realization that this, what we're in now, is a state of failure and it's not good enough. And I mean, no matter what the cause of it, we were supposed to want to be protect the community, the family from that, and we didn't. We didn't protect it, and we need to get back the family. We are the leader of the family. We are the leader of the community. We need to get back the family to a state of respectability in the world. Because anywhere you go in the world right now, the black community is frowned upon. The black community is seen as less than, the black family is seen as less than, the black child, the black woman is seen as less than everywhere in the world. And that is because of the black man failure to protect the black child, the black family, the black woman, the black community. And we're in a state of failure. And the problem we're in right now, black man is not seeing themselves like they not notice them in a state of failure, like everything is okay. Everything is
living the best life.
It's complacency. Complacency. Yeah.
Just gallivanting and things like that. They are the man. You are not the man. That's why people are calling you boy. That's why people are calling you nigger. That's why people are calling these names, because you're not doing what you're supposed to. Them look upon you and say, look, everybody else, man, I protect them thing. Everybody else, man, are dead for them family. Everybody else, man, are fight for them family. And black man does they also like a depend upon the next man. For food, for every little thing you try to your daddy,
I
your white father, oh, give me food, give me electricity, give me everything. You know what I mean? While the black family are suffer. So the more time we are talking about a black woman, I look on a black man away. Oh, you in a state of failure for 500 years. What do you think? Black woman nature is to survive. And them are going to want choose the side where they, when them look for you, them not see as somebody who are going to enable them to survive. You look like you not protect them because they want protection. You know what I mean? So black man and a whole have to come to a realization and say, yo, we're in a state of failure. And as a whole, you know what I mean? All black man have to come together and take a black nation out of this state of failure. And that's how I look on black man right now. And that my goal to get from this situation to a situation where we are, you know what I mean, seen as equals everywhere going at the earth. Even though we know just thrown upon.
So
and that is the black man duty to do that.
Yeah, so the reason take a twist now, right?
I couldn't hold it at all. I couldn't hold it at all.
The question. So what
Yeah,
we are saying is, we want to keep the reason that you hit on a very critical point for you. And it's a point where not a lot of people hear it. We find all kind of decent ways to talk about our situations and everything, but not a lot of people voice it and say, yo, this is the reality. See? So the reality is we in a state of failure in terms of rules, in terms of responsibilities, in terms of positioning, everything. 360-degree, we in a rule of failure, right? What are some of the steps that we can take to remedy this? Yaga.
Well, looking at the situation, see, we have to ask the question, how did we come to this state? How did we find ourselves
Okay.
in this situation? So
Mhm.
we cannot address the problem with a solution unless we know the root cause of the problem. And I believe over the years, through slavery and incarceration, the black man has been removed from the family. So you find that the woman them now have to be making ends meet and taking on the role that the man normally plays providing for the home. So the pressure that put on the family has brought us to break point. So to address those situations, we need to see where we start training the boys about manhood from them young, from an early age. So that over the years they grow with that as a part of them where they have to go through the rites of initiation, African practices and
Right,
our African
right,
traditions.
right. So yeah, today you have people who are say them a man just because them carry the genotype of a male, right?
Yeah.
But in
Yep.
terms of the responsibilities
Alpha man.
and requirements of being a man, they are ignorant, as Bingi would have said, of those things, right? So we need to have a structure where these responsibilities and requirements are taught and instilled in our young men so that they grow up into being men who are aware of these responsibilities and aware of these requirements. Excellent point, Yaga.
We need a
Excellent
home
point.
school.
Bingi. Oh, yes, I. Bingi. What are some of the possible solutions to the present condition of the black man?
Some of the possible solutions, there are many, right? But the condition that a black man suffers today, though, back to that condition that he's suffering today, is something that was imposed on him, right?
True.
It's not something. So if we look at Western society versus Eastern societies, they're a little different, right? We in the West, how we live, or black men in Africa and how they see their family structure traditionally is different, right? So we know that we as men in the West, yeah, there's failure, but there's failure because the conditions were designed as such as well. How do we remedy that? Now we have to take control of our own situation and start figuring out how we build communal liberties, right? How we have communal understanding. Hey, like you live on our street, man. Get everybody together. Start block by block, basically. How you build that community. That's the only way you're gonna get out of it. Because now you're gonna have this understanding of responsibility not only to yourself but to others across the board, right?
But
And
Freddie Bingi,
education. Uh-huh.
Freddie, before we go to education, I'm going to remember say you want to address education as well, right? But it's kind of challenging when you say we must do stuff like that because what we find nowadays is that as soon as we used to have black communities, like areas where predominantly black
Yeah,
people
yeah,
live.
yeah.
But what we find now is that as soon as you get to a point or attain a level where you're saying that your intention is to move out, to leave that community and go into a different community, a more multi-ethnic
But
community,
but
right?
that's
Because
but
them
that's what's
proceeds so you
happening.
can't
We're
survive in
talking
your
about
own community. You
what
want to rise up, you have to
yeah,
leave your community and leave your
yeah.
people.
So,
But then
so
how do you how we remedy that? I'm saying is we saying it's difficult. We know that it is difficult. But if we don't get back to that understanding, this
mhm,
is going to be what it's going to be. This is how it's going to continue then. We have to
right.
be able to rebuild a structure that will allow us to have this responsibility of others, towards others, not only to self. And that's part of the problem too, right? Where you become selfish, where nothing else matters but you. So I know it is difficult. I know it's a very difficult task, but that could be a solution because we have seen it work in the past.
We have seen it. But the point I was trying to bring out with it, though,
Yeah.
Bingy, is that we have to also have the mindset that in order for us to improve, we do not have to leave our communities. We have to improve in our communities,
Well,
build our
again,
communities.
that is communal understanding, right?
Right.
If you're gonna stay in your community, I
Mhm.
say community, it means you have a community.
Right.
It means
Right.
you have a community.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the overstanding.
Naturally.
Yeah, unless
Mm.
that happens, man, we
So-
going in perils. It's perils.
So your next point was education, Bingy.
Yes, education has to be important, right? In building any community, you have to understand, you have to have financial literacy, right? Which we see lacking most of the times, right? From youth, you have to start teaching your children about money and things from small,
Real
Don't
talk.
wait
Because the
till
school
they're
system doesn't
20
do that.
and
And it is something that
yes,
affects our daily lives.
yeah, man, you have to understand finance because one of the failure of black men is they do not understand finance. They do not understand how to manage money.
That's a big failure.
You and a man will be a man of a different ethnicity will be making the same money, but he will figure out how to put down 20% of his salary, and it will be difficult for you. You know why? He only do what he needs to do. You do what you want to do. So you have to
Difference.
have, yeah, man. So you have to have, so you have to have education becomes important, right?
Yes,
But that
sir.
education is covering yourself, right? The ethnic makeup, who you are in this society, right? As a black
So-
person, economics, you must have economic education and communal education as well. How we
So-
get together. I
so-
think those are some of the remedies.
Yes, sir. No, Okabongo, I save Okabongo for last
Yes.
because I know I'm very passionate about this reasoning. So brother Okabongo, what are some of your possible solutions to these failures of the
Yeah.
black one?
See, all of we as black man should be
Mhm.
passionate about it. All of us.
Naturally.
But not even just passionate. Is that you should be ashamed of the situation we're in. You know what I mean? I mentioned that everywhere you go in the world, you see the black community in the same position.
True.
Everywhere you go, black people are the minority.
Every
Everywhere you
geographical
go,
region.
black people are the poorest people. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And me as a black
Even-
man now, who we are, say we are lead the thing. And everywhere you go, we as a black man now, we look on that and we say, we can't just, we just look on that and just satisfy so.
Like
You know what I
it
mean?
good.
You know what I mean? And yeah, so the solution is black man for start know them duty. Them not know them duty as a man. Them not know them duty as a man. And most other people and culture understand them duty. Black man seem to not understand them duty as a man, them duty to the black woman, them duty to the black family, them duty to the black community. Them not understand them duty, and we have to go try find one way to make them understand this. Your duty to protect, provide, and all the other thing them we are man to do for your community, for your family. Because we see a black man like some man them just there and them a try to impress some other people. Like them a try to impress white people. Or them a try to show off on black people. So you see one black man comes and all have some money and thing and you know what I mean? It's like him a try to show off. Well, while 100 million other black people they suffer. And him see that they look for me, look like, show him chest like look for me. So if
No,
me
but
make
I not only him alone I say look for me. The system I say look for him too because
look
the
on him
system
too,
I
and they look for
use
me,
him.
like that. You know what I
I
mean? If
use him
me
to
can
promote
make
the
it,
system.
if me
Then you can
can
make it too.
what
can
you
make it
can do
too.
it. Like you know, say, yo, I'm whole family that don't there so. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
End
Him
up your
own
shoulder chest
family.
and go on like you're something
The
because
way
really
I
and
pray
truly,
that
the
you
man
know,
him never look on you like nothing. Then,
when I look at that, you know, saying, if you make a food and you live good, and that not make a food, you know, make a food, you don't have a food. No one pressure upon me.
More pressure.
I
And
mean,
It's
not
a
just
man,
man
more
and them
pressure.
food,
More not just Yaga, not just more pressure. Yaga, not just more pressure, more premiums too. More premiums too because I'm gonna say, oh boy, Yaga have a food in him, go feed, you know. You understand?
but
I
but
say,
Whereas
all
man,
if
but
everyone,
dada, but all them premiums there at them see we are them the one get we to because we are say
yeah, we
the
agree.
premiums and them thing there
We
because we feel
agree.
work
We
together,
agree.
bridging. We feel
Right.
work together to get a black community out of
Then
this
that we are saying
situation where we
that
in where
that
everywhere we
that
go, everywhere on earth. I mean, I say, are the
Okavango.
black man responsibility. And next thing to you know, because we talk about black woman last week, you know. We talk about black woman last week, you know. And we are talking about some man where we want like a blame a black woman for everything, you know. And we have to understand, we have to understand a black woman, you know, and understand she have to look upon her man.
I feel you.
Failure, you know, right now, you know. You understand? So, and she don't want to be that, you know. She don't want to be that. So, we have to humble ourselves, go to the black woman them, and say, look here, we know what the situation we go in right now, but we are going to work on it, and we want you with yes, with me. We have some black man related. Them I try because like them so individualistic, them I try go find one somebody from another race. You understand? Instead of a pin black community. So because them see find somebody other race as same thing. Look at me. You know what I mean? No, me better than even white woman want me now.
But some of these things are by design. They're by design, you know, so we cannot leave that out.
Yeah, but Yaga, we can't talk about by design all the while. We have to start move from a design. You understand? I don't get talk about, you know, we move from because them design if you just go fall in it.
Narrative.
We are move from that. I say, oh boy, them design they put with this.
Remember say a new design come out every year, you know.
Yeah.
A new design come
And
out every year. So when we get a new design.
I fall in design all the while and I complain all the while. If we move from them thing, that's them thing where them set for it. You know what I mean? We start reject them thing there.
That's where education becomes important.
Them pretty clothes and them pretty car and them pretty gold chain. You know what I mean? Them pretty gold chain where they go dig up the whole of Africa and enslave people in Africa. And then carry come sell you. Eddie, you wear it and go on like say, are you the man? There's nothing, man. There's nothing.
That is where
the gold
education
chain
becomes important.
As some little picnic. Some little picnic, some little 5-year-old go down the wall and some of them dead. If you wear the gold chain there. Eddie, I wear gold chain and I wear and some pretty car where some people enslave for make an sitting there. And I come go on like say, you are something.
We need quality education and training for black men so that them can develop them skills that can benefit the community. Seeing and have a career where them can have that upward mobility, then they can support the family. So we need to see a complete reform of the education system as Bingi has highlighted earlier on.
Yaga, we don't go stay on the education system because on a black people education system. You see, we as black man have to create the college there or the classroom there.
So the education system. Well, I said that the black man must be educated about himself. So that's the education we're talking about because where we coming from, we know what we have done. It has been proven. We don't have nothing to prove now. Our evidence, we have left evidence of our great civilizations, or the way our minds work. So we know who we are. It is evidential. So we have to figure out how to get there, bro. How we recognize who we are. But education is absolutely a part of it.
Involved in policy making and involved in politics.
Yeah. Bingy.
Yeah.
Even though we know it, so we know them thing there, no.
Yeah,
but I'm not even sure if we know that. I just maybe like me and you know them thing there, no, because really and
No.
truly, we check the wider community, them don't really know. Them don't really know nothing.
Well,
Them just
but that's why we here, right?
not the
We here to
system.
impart certain knowledge and understanding that I
Okay.
and I
That's
have,
why.
right?
That's why
It's
we are.
share.
I and I
That's
here
why
right
we
now.
here, right? So we
Yes.
share knowledge so people could examine it. The reason we not just talking, we saying to you, hey,
We're
listen,
talking same.
but we have evidence, right? Go back, you check your history, you check the evidence we speak about, whether it's from mathematics to to sciences, you check and see who have started these things.
Sports, arts
You
and
go
culture.
check and see. Yeah, man, culture. You go back in time.
So the current years of the black man is as a result of hundreds of years of psychological trauma, right?
Yeah, man.
And we are aware of this. But what we're saying is that we have to find a remedy. There has to be a remedy.
Yes.
And it is our responsibility for the generations to come. Like biblically, them always talk about to the third and fourth generation. You understand? And we have to start, as black man today, we have to start thinking along those lines. What are we going to do today that is going to benefit 3, 4, 5, 6, 100 generations from now?
down the road.
What are we going to do today that is going to be for the benefit of those generations to come? And if we're not thinking like that, then these failures that we are currently experiencing will continue to be our failures for these 3, 4, 5 hundreds of generations to come.
And another thing too, we are really scared, right? One of the things we have to start doing amongst ourselves too is implement something called trust, right? And I tell you, one of the trust becomes a very important factor. And why I say this, men might know each other for years, right? But when you come to trust, tell them about financially getting together and doing something, there's always skepticism. And the reason
Yeah, man,
why
I'm not
there's
trust here,
skepticism because it ain't have trust amongst ourselves.
No
Why?
trust.
We don't
No
have
trust yet.
what the Egyptians call ma'at. So we must implement that
Balance.
we must figure out how to become unified, how we trust each other. And that trust becomes your evidence of true love. That's what that trust becomes, because you know what? If I want this for me, I want this
Your
for
word is
another
good.
man.
Your word is
Are we
good.
going in this together?
Fire.
That is the evidence.
Fire.
That's a
Fire.
good one, Bengi. It's a good one.
Fire.
Yeah, man.
Fire. You know, say, right? You know, say the reason why it's difficult for we have those trust collectively is because individually we don't trust ourselves.
But that's
Yes,
what
I-
I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah.
We have
Yes,
to come
yes,
to that
yes,
point. It's called
yes, sir.
maturity,
Individually
right?
we
And
don't
it's
trust
deep rooted.
ourselves.
Yeah, it's deep rooted,
Eh?
Yes,
It's deep rooted,
sir.
you know.
Fire.
Yeah,
It's
man.
Deep rooted
deep-rooted.
fire. Because when I say, see when a person say, Ray, where you think him logic a come from? Him logic a come from say, boy, if me did not a position there,
Maybe
yeah,
I do
take
too.
my, I mash up that, So
Yeah.
boom, you just think you'll catch me, and now catch me.
Yes.
And
man.
that's where it come from, fire. So you see, you
Because
don't have
of their
that
own
trust in
mistrust.
yourself.
Yes,
sir.
I.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Kalandi
I.
said, Kalandi said from the 90s, Caesar said from the 90s, when him sing, I say, who to be trusted and loved,
Yeah,
If you
man.
cannot be trusted, you cannot be loved,
Yes,
You see
I.
me? Yeah, man. If you
Yeah.
cannot be
And
trusted,
that is
you
the
cannot be
evidence.
loved, brother.
That is the evidence of love, man. That is the evidence of
Yes,
true
sir.
love. When
Trust.
I and I could
Yes,
come
man.
together and
And
do
trust each
things.
other. Yes,
Because
sir.
the I
Yes, sir.
know you talk to enough ones, right? And that is the failure too. We talk and talk and talk. But when it's time to step
I'm
up
a
to the
personal
plate,
example of that, fire.
yeah,
I'm a
man.
personal example of that.
Yes,
Yeah, man.
we know. So yeah,
But as me
Yeah,
I say
man.
still, as me I say still, the failure is we not go get over them until we realize say
We're
at the
failing.
state we in our state
Mhm.
of failure. And we have to accept that say, oh, I yes with it right now
Mhm.
and can't stay. Because
And it's hard for
more
them
time,
accept
more
it,
time, some good video
Uncle
grow,
Bongo.
and you know what I mean? There's the people that talk and I say, oh, black man this and black man do this and black man do that and black man do this and you know what I mean? But when you really look on it, yeah, I want to look at one black man, I want to one thing about this and you feel
Uncle
happy about
Bongo.
it. But
Uncle
as a,
Bongo.
eh?
You know what I say, right? It's difficult to do, because here why? black man feel like say are the best of them right now, you know, brother.
No, that's the problem. And that's
Black
one of
man
the
feel
biggest
like
problem, you
say
know.
are the best of them right now, you know, brother. So
The-
until we can get past that, the mindset there, you know, bro. Because the next thing why I always burn out, you know, Okabongo is the first thing, you know.
You know something about that all the while. I want to me eat when I come with them first. Yeah, man, me
Yeah.
eat that bridging.
Yeah.
Both first this and first that, and I celebrate some local first. With something where, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
We should have
normal
been the
thing.
norm.
Normal things.
Yeah, come both
Right.
first.
Yeah.
Oh, I am the first one that go to college in my family. You know what I mean? I'm the first. I mean, I say, Regine, then the thing they should, as I embarrassment for this time now, we still at about one first somebody I got college.
But you have
It's
families that have
evidence of the
generations
kind
that
of
go to the same
system we
college.
live in, though. It's evidence of the system we
Them
live in.
to
If
celebrate
you,
them
it's a
success.
shame. But yeah, man, but it's evidence of the oppression. Seriously. Else we
Right.
wouldn't
We
be
agree with
having the
that, fire.
conversation.
I agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. So the black man fire is like him is a necessary part of the family as we know. Because a black man, black woman, and black picnic, you see me? But where I say that we have a desire to see the black man stand up in that dignity as Bingy talk about. To stand up in that royalty of himself, you know, say, yo. And again, it comes from self-knowledge. Because it's only through self-knowledge that him can grow self-love. And it is only through self-love that him can get self-trust. And it is only through self-trust that we can have community. Because without that trust of self, or we can trust ourselves, then we cannot have community. And if we cannot have community, then there's no future. Because the future rests on community.
And we have ourselves to blame for that.
We can't blame no one else. We
Yeah,
can
man.
find, we
them
can
go
find
astray.
excuses, you know. We can find excuses, you know. There are many excuses, you know.
Yeah.
When we see you them go
ultimately-
astray, we have to take responsibility for that because we're not there to guide them. We're not there
Pete-
to
Yeah.
show put
Pete-
that shoulder
Peter to
arm
say it,
around
you
them
know.
and when they are at their
Peter
lowest
to
and
sing
going
it, you
through their trauma and the stress that they are going through.
Peter to sing it. Peter to sing it. Him sing it, say you can't blame the youths.
You can't
Understand?
blame you.
Yeah, man.
None at
You
all.
can't
You
blame the
can't.
youths.
Yeah, man, I
You
really
understand?
think,
Peter
man.
to sing it.
Real
You
talk.
understand? Because guess what? We have to do it, brother. We have to do it, bro. Excellent point, Yaga. Excellent point.
Yeah, man.
So we know that life, we're always gonna face obstacles. We're always gonna face challenges. We're gonna have difficulties. That's a innate part of life. It's there. You get what I say? What we have to do now is through resilience, through strength of character, through dignity, we have to rise above these obstacles, above these challenges, right? By any means necessary. By any means necessary. Because a lot of times people look and say, boy, them just throw them hands up in the air and like them resolve like, oh, this is my experience and this is my condition and that I just have to accept it. But we don't have to accept it. Because there's always a way that we can
The
improve
mindset have to
ourselves.
change.
Yes, I.
We can't accept that, Bridging. We can't accept that. You know what I mean?
Because the longer we accept
the black woman has suffer. The black child has suffer.
yeah,
We see it.
suffer.
We
Yes,
see
sir.
the black child has
Rise up,
suffer. We
black
see
man,
the black
rise
woman has
up.
suffer.
Yes,
So we
sir.
have to,
Up.
yeah, man. We have we make for that, we make we carry
Yes,
the burden
sir.
there,
Yes,
we
sir.
burden that, for the
Yes,
lick
sir.
up
We're born
things,
for this.
Yeah,
Born
we
for
born
this.
for we born for do. We just start do it, you know what I mean? We born
Yes,
for
sir.
it.
For real,
Our
man. For
burden
real.
that, you know
For
what I
real,
mean?
man. For
Yeah.
real, man.
For do our rules in our family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Tough it out and do it.
and we are the because we say we head of the family, and we head of the family, we have to start spearhead the family. You know what I mean?
Man.
Yeah,
Naturally.
man, and we have difficult times to go through still, but
Yes, sir.
yeah, we
Yes,
have to
sir.
take on, we have to take on the road. We have to take on, we
Yes, sir.
can't
those
just
who are
stay
going
going
through
like this.
stress.
We just want to live in a failure.
Sure, man.
We
Sure,
want to live
man.
in a failure and go on
Counseling.
like say we not
So we need to see
Sure, man.
counseling available to those who needs the service.
So for recap now, even coming from the black woman reasoning, we see where the black woman, through the failures, have to develop coping mechanisms in order to ensure them survival. So we have said the failures of the black man put the black woman in these vulnerable positions where
Yes,
them have to
man.
do these things. So
Yes,
we have said
man.
it's time we stop making the black woman, the royal black goddess, so vulnerable. And,
No,
and
Dada, you know,
eh,
see what them a do with black woman them?
yeah man,
Pan them TV and
yeah
pan them
man,
media.
yeah
Over
man, yeah
sexualize the
man,
black woman them. You
yeah
push out a
man,
woman and
yeah
see,
man,
like
yeah
that.
man.
You ever see no Arab pan TV, so I no Persian, I no Indian, I no any woman from Asian, I no European woman.
No,
The black woman they on your TV every day without clothes.
yeah man, true
Eh?
I, true I,
Come on, man.
And when the
true man.
dignity
Come on. Hey, guess
gone,
what? Hey, and some black guy them use, you know. You make them take out their
Agree.
clothes, you know.
Yeah man,
I sing some fart, you know. I tell
yeah
them to do
man,
some foolishness, you know.
yeah man, yeah
Some
man,
black guy, you know.
yeah man.
So one of them black guy if become black man, you know.
Right, so true man. Cause we
You
born a
understand?
guy.
I start. So then the bomb about them right now.
Yeah man, so cause we born a guy. Yeah man.
Yeah.
And
Them
start the what?
foolish.
And start the what?
Eh?
You say you want them become black man and start the what?
I start the right thing. I
step
tell the
up
woman
to
them
their
do the right thing. Put the
responsibility.
Yes,
things
sir.
on them right way.
In tune
Yes,
with them
sir.
culture, you know, and them
Yeah.
history and them
Yeah
tradition.
man. Yeah man. Yeah man. So a black man them have to relearn them culture, brother.
Yeah.
And that's going forward to the point where Yaga make earlier, where I said we have to have structures in the community that initiate boys into men.
But first, we
You
had
get
to
what I'm saying?
build community.
Agree.
We have to
Agree.
build
Agree.
community. We
That
don't
we
have
need-
community.
we need
That
to
is
build
why we have
community.
failure. We have to build
Yes, sir.
community. That is what's
Right.
lacking. Without it,
Mhm.
And I remember, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
children like structure, you know.
Mhm.
yes, I.
Them do well
Yes, I.
on routines and following a structure. So if we put the structure
Right.
in place and we are teach them these things over the years, it's gonna become a part of them. They don't have to look left
Yeah.
and look right. And when them see
Mhm.
around them, everybody else is doing something different from what we are telling them to do.
Side,
Yeah.
side. And next thing I want to reason about the black man too, before we even seal up the reasoning. See, we kind of touch on it like lightly. Is incarceration, right? Incarceration. Now we over say a choices people make, as we have reasoned earlier, where the choices what people make, them face the consequences of them choices, right? But we have to systematically them establish these things, these systems, to particularly oppress us as a people, right? Because after them eradicate slavery, them implement the criminal
Policing.
justice system to replace it, right? So what we have to is that the black man, right, going to incarceration, it play a major toll on not only the black man in terms of his dignity, because when you go through these things, it's almost like you lose all humanity, right? Which when we think about it, I think that should be for rehabilitation becomes a thing for dehumanization, right? It also affects the black woman, right? And it also affects the black child. So as such, it affects the entire black family and the entire black community.
Dada,
So what? Mm,
the incarceration thing, you know,
eh,
are really the black youth it affect you. The black youth. So we are go back to we forward to the black man again, you know. It's the failure of the black man again, cause the black man not in the black home, you know. So if you check out, you
The
know,
ripple effect.
it starts to tell us, you know, at the home where the black man not in, you know.
Most
The
of
youth
them.
them end up in a jail.
Most
you know.
of them.
Because we check out now, the youth them in a jail, you know.
They are
I be
seen around
almost
them.
the young youths in a jail, you know. We grew up
All right,
without.
so me could left the incarceration reason until when we do the black child.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Me could left the incarceration reason for when we reach the black child. Then.
Yeah,
See?
man.
So when we talk about the historical roles and responsibilities of the man, we talk about him experience through slavery, him identity. We talk what about education and employment. We kind of touch on education in terms of the
Yeah,
need for it.
Bring touch on that, yeah.
We
need.
kind of touch on the need and it and we kind of touch on fatherhood and family, and we talk about the solution. So I think we covered the black man.
We cover the black man decently, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yes, man.
Yes.
So what more to say is that I don't want the black man them to take it like say it's just a bashing on the black man. I want them to look at it and know say it's a cry for better, a cry for improvement, a plea, if we can use that word, a plea for the black
Save
man
our
to come to
children,
him
save our black women.
true self,
Yes,
for
man.
the purpose of self, um, self,
Preservation.
yes, man, and for for the salvation of the black community, the black nation.
Yes,
You
man.
understand? So it's a plea. It is a plea, black man, for the item to rise and show them true self, brother.
Yeah,
You
man.
see?
And we are charged. We are, them know say anything we say, everybody else do. We can go at them level that we can be there. We can be there. We should be there.
Oh,
You know
but
what I mean?
And
I not only be there, but excel.
And
greater.
and we
Not
can
only be
excel
there,
to
but
any
and
height.
excel.
Any
Because we
height we
see
can
that.
excel.
We
But
see
we are
that.
say, don't act like the we are there right now. We are not. We are
We're
far from it.
We're far
We are
from it.
far
You know,
from
like
it.
them
before,
our
man.
talk, you know, where's the
That's
yaga?
what we are, Yaga.
We've done it
Where's the
before,
yaga?
man. We
We
just
should
have to
be.
find
So
our
we should be.
identity
That's
and
our natural
embrace
habitat.
our culture
You
some
know what
more
I mean?
and our tradition some more, you know?
Like them our saying, them our talk, you know, when them say, you're not that man. You're not
Yeah.
that guy.
You're not that guy.
We're not that guy.
No,
You
we're not
understand?
that guy. We are
We're
not.
not that guy. So
We
we
are
have
not.
to get ourselves to the place of being that man.
Yeah.
You understand? That we have to do. And that is the plea to this reason where I say, black man, know thyself. Black man, know thyself. Black man,
Find
know
thyself, man.
thyself.
Yeah,
Yes,
man,
sir.
we can do it, man. We can do it, man.
do it, man.
And we're
It
gonna
is
do it.
attainable.
Absolutely.
We are gonna do it. And we are gonna do it.
It is attainable.
We are gonna do it, man.
But let us do it now.
Right now, we have to start
Let
now.
us
It
do it now.
starts now.
Let us do it
And
now.
too late, I mean, you know.
Mm-mm.
But we have to start today.
Yeah, man, have a start.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, give ISIS. Yeah, man, remember to like, share, subscribe. This has been another episode of the Perfect Balance Trodclass. We had a stimulating discussion, an interesting discussion, burn out the stimulation.
But
On the black man, his identity, his historical progress, and his current condition and possible solution. Join us in the next episode where we'll talk about the black children, the black youth, and as another installment in the Black Family series. Thank you, Okavango Rebel Guru,
Yes, that.
Yaga, Teacher Ma'at,
yeah, man.
Bingi.
That's for life.
Give thanks, my Lord. I
We
am
need to see a
Rastana. This is the
holistic
Perfect
approach to the
Balance
thing, you know?
Class. Yes, I give thanks for the moment, give thanks for the reason, word song. Rastafari, Art Sabbatica. Yes, sir. Give I
Bless
It's
you,
an
man. Bless you.
important starting point.